Haha, he is the problem. Not enough Hotel Mario vs. Peppino episodes. So today we'll solve that problem by bringing you CDI Mario vs. Peppino Spaghetti, Philips CDI vs. Pizza Tower. I'm your host, Animation Rewind, and let's introduce Cartoon Fight Club's next round of fighters.
No.
The Philips CDI system was never really meant to be a gaming console, yet 33 years later, that's the only major thing it's remembered for. Coming out in 1991, this machine was mainly intended for various multimedia purposes such as music, movies, and home videos. But Hotel Mario had different plans for this machine. Bring in CDI Hotel Mario. Our story starts off with Mario and Luigi assuming to visit the princess for a picnic, only to find out that Bowser and the Koopalings have turned the Mushroom Kingdom into 7 hotel resorts. The best part is that each hotel name in the game is a pun from real-world resorts. A few examples include Thump Castle, which is supposed to be Trump Castle, Chilton Hotel, which is a reference to Hilton Hotel, the Blitz Snarlton, which is a reference to the Ritz-Carlton, and my favorite, Bowser's Seizures Palace, which is a reference to Caesar's Palace. But what about Mario himself? What are his powers and abilities in this game? That's the important aspect for this video. Mario has access to the Fire Flower, Super Mushroom, and Starman in this very game, which operate how they do in most Mario games. The most unique power-up for the game specifically is the Toad power-up, which actually just operates like a Super Mushroom, but also grants you an extra life. As for Mario's specific in-game feats, he survived falling down a pipe without any visible injuries, and he should be able to scale to Princess Peach, who survived an explosion that launched her all the way to the clouds in the sky and destroyed Larry's mountain-based hotel. This is easily a mountain-level feat. The clouds in the sky look like cumulus clouds, which float at roughly 6,500 feet or 2,000 meters. An explosion with a similar blast radius would be a hydrogen bomb, which also has a roughly 6,500 feet blast radius. Mario scaling to mountain busting gives him mountain level durability, and his most underrated ability in the game is his ability to break the fourth wall and manipulate the viewer into helping him. He does this on numerous occasions, like asking for a reminder to turn off a power source or getting rid of the clouds itself. And before you say that this is just simply asking for outside help, he doesn't ask for help, he in a way manipulates or forces you to help him, which is a reality warping manipulation ability. We know this because his brother Luigi possesses the same ability when he says,
And you gotta help us.
Doesn't ask for help, he demands it and receives it.
No.
Peppino is just a simple man who wants to have a simple life and not be conquered by a floating evil pizza. And yes, sometimes that is a man's biggest problem in life, a floating pizza, especially one by the name of Pizza Face.
It's a pretty relatable story. I mean, don't you hate when that happens to you?
Basically, Pizza Face threatens that he will destroy Peppino's restaurant unless Peppino conquers the Pizza Tower and takes him out. No real reason as to why Pizza Face wants to destroy the restaurant or why he just doesn't do it and why he needs Peppino to fight him, but hey, it leads to a pretty good game as Peppino takes up the challenge in order to keep his restaurant safe. Plus, going through the trials of the Pizza Tower allowed Peppino to show off his amazing feats. He may be a bit timid, but this everyday Italian pizza chef packs more of a punch than you would first think. First off, Peppino is surprisingly skilled at hand-to-hand fighting, performing an attack known as the grab dash. Peppino grabs his foes and then uses his fists and feet to send his enemies flying, but sometimes he doesn't even need fists to fight his enemies. It's pretty clear that he can effortlessly defeat his enemies by ramming into them by dashing. Peppino's dash attack is powerful enough to ram through multiple enemies. It's so strong that Peppino can use this dash attack to break through solid blocks of marble, metal, and of course, John Pillar. Speaking of his dash attack, this requires Peppino to run at incredibly fast speeds in order for him to break through these walls so effortlessly. It's been stated that Peppino's top speed is around Mach 3, though he actually proved that he can move faster than that. This was shown when Peppino managed to dodge lightning blasts. But if he cannot dodge his enemy's attacks, then he can always parry their attacks by taunting. As a matter of fact, Peppino's taunts are so powerful that he can perform a super taunt that can wipe out any enemy nearby. Peppino's best feats are easily feats of durability. His body seems to have some form of elastic properties, as he can squish himself down before shooting himself high into the air and perform a super jump. But in terms of going over what he has survived, he's survived being squished into a pizza box, set on fire, blown up,
falling from massive heights, having his head attacked by talons of special guest Mort the Chicken, being electrocuted, having a rocket slammed into his body, and being literally scared to death. His best feat was probably after he beat the heck out of Pizza Head, slowly rising into the air before bringing him back down to a large pile drive. Peppino and Pizza Head were falling for roughly 10 seconds, meaning that they fell and hit the top of the pizza tower from the height of roughly 1,608 feet. Peppino is also able to use his weight to his advantage, similarly to how he can break through metal blocks when running at Mach speeds. After falling from a certain height, Peppino can break through pretty much anything. Peppino has been shown to use himself as a projectile by quickly diving into the ground to attack his enemies, or rolling into a ball to act as a bowling ball to knock over his enemies like pins. And he even has access to an assortment of guns, such as a pistol or a shotgun, which he can fire bullets powerful enough to tear through walls. But obviously, his most effective way of fighting is by pummeling his opponents with powerful punches and kicks. And you do not want to get on this guy's bad side, because if he goes into one of his berserker fits, he will absolutely wail on you. He is also shown to use the environment to his advantage. Good examples involve using a trash lid as a surfboard, using a rocket to propel him through meteors, and using a suit of armor to become a knight. But easily, the most powerful thing in his arsenal is the Satan's Choice Pizza. This pizza is obviously very spicy, as it gives Peppino some form of pyrokinesis, as he can transform himself into a fiery Beyblade and fly. But Peppino isn't without his flaws. One of his most notable flaws is the fact that it's very easy for him to lose his pistol and shotgun, which is fine since he's still a great fist fighter, but it limits Peppino to having to fight without range attacks. Also, the powers from a Satan's Choice Pizza will be lost if he happens to come across free milk. Peppino is also rather anxious and nervous and can be easily freaked out quite easily.
And now, let's get ready for the fight. This battle will take place on Earth, and remember, there is no prep time. Let the battle begin!
Here's the problem. Too many toasters.
Hopefully you enjoyed that animation, and if you did, super special thanks to Team Animation Rewind's Gabriel M. Also super special thanks to Team Animation Rewind's your boy Mecha for the Pizza Tower pre-analysis script. Thanks, and enjoy the post-analysis. And the winner is Hotel Mario. Now, of course, the most contested ability in the Hotel Mario arsenal is his ability to warp reality, break the fourth wall, and force the viewer into doing what he wants. The argument in favor for this ability is that he broke the fourth wall on numerous occasions and got the viewer to do exactly what he asked for. He does this when he asks for a reminder to turn off a power source, to get rid of the clouds, and most notably, when Luigi demands help and receives it in the very beginning of the game. And before you say this is simply just asking for outside help, well, if that's the case, then anyone with mind control abilities would not be able to use them in a versus sense. Because the plumbers demand help and receive it, they're not asking for it, but let's just assume that this shouldn't count. Even with this in mind, he can scale to a mountain-busting explosion, which gives him mountain-level durability. With this type of durability, Peppino would struggle in the long run. Even though he's pretty durable himself, we don't see any mountain-level durability from Peppino, which means in the long run, Mario's Fire Flower attacks should be able to win the war of attrition and slowly but surely take the win. When there's smoke, there's fire, and the winner of this episode is Fire Flower CDI Hotel Mario.
No.
Just doing my job.